The year is 2050. Humanity has finally bridged the void between worlds. We have left the blue marble behind to set foot on the rusted soil of the fourth rock from the sun. It was sold to us as the ultimate adventure, a backup drive for human civilization. But as the first colony ships descend through the thin carbon dioxide atmosphere, the romanticism of space exploration evaporates. What remains is a cold, hard truth. Mars does not want us here. This is a planet that has been dead for billions of years, and it is aggressively hostile to biological life. From the moment the landing gear touches the regolith, the clock starts ticking. Every breath is recycled. Every drop of water is reclaimed from sweat and urine. And outside the reinforced walls of the habitat, a silent, invisible killer rains down from the cosmos. This is not a vacation. This is a siege. Welcome to the colony. The first hurdle is simply arriving alive. The entry, descent, and landing sequence, often called the 7 minutes of terror, has evolved by 2050, but the physics remains unforgiving. The atmosphere on Mars is 100 times thinner than Earth's. This means heavy colony ships, laden with years of supplies and nuclear reactors, cannot rely solely on parachutes. They must engage in a violent ballet of supersonic retro-propulsion. If the thrusters misfire by a millisecond, the ship impacts the surface at the speed of a bullet. For the colonists strapped inside, the G-forces are crushing. The roar is deafening. Then, sudden silence. When the hatch opens, they do not see a grand welcoming committee. They see a desolate wasteland where the temperature plummets to -80 degrees Fahrenheit before lunch. The dust, fine as talcum powder and sharp as glass, immediately begins to coat sensors and seals. This is the new home, a frozen desert where the air itself is a vacuum compared to what our lungs evolved to breathe. Survival begins with the habitat. In 2050, we are not living in glass domes. That is science fiction. We are living underground, or in structures covered by meters of regolith printed by autonomous robots years in advance. The reason is simple: radiation. Without a magnetic field or a thick atmosphere, Mars is bombarded by galactic cosmic rays and solar flares. On the surface, a human would receive a lethal dose of radiation in a matter of months. Down here, in the lava tubes or buried modules, safety is relative. The psychological pressure of living in a windowless can is immense. The airlock becomes the most sacred technology in the colony. A single seal failure, a single rupture in the pressure hull, and everyone inside undergoes explosive decompression. The fluids in your body would boil at body temperature. Death would be instant, but agonizing. Every colonist sleeps knowing that only a few inches of metal and composite separate them from the void. Let us talk about the water. You cannot bring enough water from Earth to sustain a colony forever. You have to mine it. By 2050, the colony is situated near the polar ice caps, or above suspected subsurface glaciers. But this is not liquid water. It is rock-hard ice, mixed with toxic perchlorate. The soil of Mars is poisonous. Growing potatoes in it, like in the movies, would kill you unless the soil is heavily treated first. Water extraction is a brutal industrial process carried out in freezing darkness. Machines break down constantly due to the abrasive dust, and the water limits are strict. A shower is a luxury of the past. Every drop of moisture you exhale, every drop you excrete, is captured, filtered, and fed back into the system. You are drinking the same water that passed through the kidneys of the first landing crew. It is efficient. It is necessary. And it is a constant reminder of the scarcity that defines life here. Then comes the dust. It is not just dirt. It is electrostatic, clinging to everything. It gets into the air filtration systems. It grinds down the gears of the rovers. But the real terror comes with the global dust storms. These events can envelop the entire planet for weeks, blotting out the sun. In 2050, a colony relying solely on solar power is a dead colony. This is why we brought nuclear fission reactors. But when the storm hits, the darkness is absolute. Communications with Earth, already suffering a 20-minute delay, can be severed completely. You are isolated, millions of miles from help. The wind screams outside, not with force, but with a constant, unnerving hiss as sand blasts the habitat exterior. During these storms, cabin fever sets in. The confinement narrows. The colony becomes a pressure cooker of human emotion, fear, and claustrophobia. Food security is the next nightmare. We rely on hydroponics and aeroponics, vertical farms glowing with purple LED lights. But these systems are fragile. A power outage, a fungal infection, or a nutrient imbalance can wipe out months of food supply in days. There are no supermarkets. There is no relief ship coming fast enough to save you from starvation. The diet is plant-based, supplemented by lab-grown proteins. It is bland, repetitive, and strictly rationed. The sheer caloric deficit of working in heavy EVA suits means colonists are constantly losing weight. Muscles atrophy in the low gravity, which is only 38% of Earth's. To combat this, colonists must exercise for 2 hours a day, burning precious oxygen and calories just to keep their bones from becoming brittle as chalk. It is a cycle of consumption and exertion that leaves everyone chronically exhausted. The isolation impacts the mind in ways we did not predict. The Earth is just a bright star in the sky. You cannot see the oceans or the forests. You are cut off from the history of your species. The delay in communication means real-time conversation with loved ones is impossible. You send a message, and 40 minutes later, you get a reply. It feels like speaking to ghosts. This creates a psychological drift. The colony begins to develop its own culture, its own slang, and its own madness. Depression and anxiety are the common cold of Mars. Medical resources are limited. If you require complex surgery, you are likely to die. If you have a psychotic break, you are a liability to the life support system. The strict discipline required to keep the station running clashes with the human need for freedom. Tensions rise. The silence of the planet amplifies the noise in your head. Governance becomes a gray area. Who owns Mars? In 2050, the Outer Space Treaty is straining under the weight of corporate interests and national pride. The colony might be funded by a coalition of nations, but the laws of Earth are hard to enforce across 50 million miles. A new social order emerges. It is a technocracy, where engineers and scientists hold the power because they keep the air flowing. Labor strikes are not just political statements, they are death threats. If the water recycling technicians stop working, the colony dies in 3 days. This fragility creates a rigid, almost military hierarchy. Dissent is dangerous. The dream of a free, utopian society clashes with the harsh utilitarianism required for survival. We are not citizens of Mars yet. We are prisoners of our own technology. Physiologically, the colonists are changing. Children born on Mars, the first Martians, will never be able to visit Earth. The gravity there would crush them. Their bones are longer, thinner. Their cardiovascular systems are adapted to lower resistance. They are a new branch of humanity, speciation in real time. This creates a profound divide: the Earth-born and the Mars-born. The parents look at their children and see aliens. The children look at the videos of Earth and see a fantasy world they can never touch. This biological divergence raises ethical questions that were once theoretical. Are they still human? If they cannot return to the cradle of humanity, have we exiled them to a prison planet? The guilt weighs heavy on the first generation. They chose this life. Their children did not. Terraforming is the long game, but in 2050 it is barely a concept. We might be releasing greenhouse gases to thicken the atmosphere or melting the poles with orbital mirrors, but the results are centuries away. For now, the planet remains dead. The paradox of the Mars colony is that to live there, we must destroy its natural state. We are invasive species. We drill, we blast, we contaminate. The search for past life on Mars becomes complicated by our own presence. Did we find microbes, or did we bring them with us? The pristine red desert is now scarred by tire tracks and landing pads. We are turning Mars into Earth, slowly, uglily. And in doing so, we are losing the very mystery that drew us there. So, what is the verdict in 2050? Is it a new beginning or a slow suicide? The colony stands as a testament to human stubbornness. We refuse to be confined to one planet. But the cost is astronomical, not just in dollars, but in human suffering. The graves on Mars are shallow, covered in red rocks, preserving the bodies forever in the freezing dryness. Yet the ships keep coming, because the alternative is staying on a planet that we are outgrowing. Mars is the crucible. It will either forge a new type of human civilization, harder, smarter, and more resilient, or it will be the tombstone that marks the limit of our reach. As the sun sets, casting a blue halo over the red horizon, the colonists look out and realize there is no going back. We are the Martians now.